Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I've got something that I am extremely interested in talking with you all about. So for a very long time now, we've known that Jurassic Park 3 was originally supposed to be a very different movie. So radically different that the original cast of the film would have been playing completely different characters than what we all got to see on the big screen in 2001. Now, while we've always known that the finished product was extremely different to what they all set out to make, we never really had too much to go on or speculate about what that old version would have looked like. Well, I think, and I can't say for sure because I don't know 100% just yet, but I think I may have found something that would give us some insight into what this movie could have been. You see, I've been kind of researching and looking for any sort of shred of information that I can find in the shooting script for JP3 for some time now. And for the most part, I was never really able to get too far apart from finding out the names of some of the characters from the script that they threw out. Well, oddly enough, I think that I may have actually found some of the pages of that script that they were about to start filming. Now, I'm going to have two links in the description to cite where I got this information from, just in case any of you want to check it out for yourselves. But to make a long story short, the posts that contain these script pages are dated for June 10th of 2000, which would have been just a little over a year before the actual movie would be released. What's even more interesting is that after I found these 3 pages of what people are claiming to be JP3's shooting script, I found an article from IGN that was posted way back in August of 2000, so just a couple of months after these pages leaked. Now in the article, they state that Trevor Morgan, the actor that played Eric Kirby in JP3, auditioned for the role of a 12-year-old boy named Miles, and William H. Macy had also signed on to play the boy's very wealthy father, Paul Roby. For anyone who is unaware, these are the names of the Jurassic Park 3 characters that we've heard of for a long time, yet hadn't really had much else to go on to speculate any further. So I thought that this was a very interesting coincidence that I should probably bring up before talking about the pages. Now, the script in question isn't exactly action-packed, and in fact, none of the pages that I found have any living dinosaurs, but they do actually depict a scene that was supposed to play out between 3 of the film's principal characters. And what's inside of them is the following. Exterior, desert. A 12-year-old Miles Roby kneels in the desert, surprisingly poised and well-informed. Miles is currently pulling a small object about the size of a wine cork from the ground. Cooper, a sweaty middle-aged bodyguard, crouches beside him, peering intently at the object in Miles' hand. Miles dusts off the object with a small brush. "What is it?" Cooper asks. "A tooth," Miles responds. Cooper says that he thinks it looks like a rock just before Miles explains that it's fossilized, and that it probably belonged to some hadrosaur. "A what?" Cooper asks. Miles goes on to say that it's a duck-billed dinosaur, a herbivore. You can tell by its shape. This thing was definitely made for eating plants. "So, it's old?" Cooper asks Miles. And mid-Cretaceous is his answer. The bodyguard asks what that means in English just before Miles explains that the tooth is probably 100 million years old. After hearing this, Cooper shakes his head in disbelief before calling out, "Hey, Mr. Roby, your son just found a dinosaur." Miles turns expectantly towards his father. Paul Roby, a middle-aged man in an expensive suit, sits on a nearby rock. Confident and capable of charm, Roby is generally a guarded man. Right now he's talking on a cell phone and patting his brow with a handkerchief. Roby then looks over at Cooper and Miles and waves. And Miles' smile slowly fades. Cooper sees the effect on the boy. It's something he's seen before. Making the best of the situation, Cooper pats Miles on the shoulder. And finally, Paul turns to his son. "Listen, sport, we're gonna have to cut the expedition short," he tells the boy. This makes Miles' heart sink. He can't look his father in the eye. "Okay," he says to his dad. Paul says that something came up and there's nothing he can do about it. And Miles replies that he understands. But clearly, he doesn't. Regardless, Paul nods his head, smiling. He says that'll make it up to him next summer. He swears it. Again, Miles nods along, and as Paul departs, his son watches him go. Cooper picks up something off of the ground. "Hey, I just found another one of those teeth," he says to the saddened child. He hands it to Miles, but the boy barely looks at it. Cooper considers him with concern. "What do you think?" he asks. "I think it's a rock," Miles responds, before he throws both objects in the sand. Now, like I stated earlier, I cannot confirm 100% that this was the shooting script that they were going to film for Jurassic Park 3, but I can say, this is me personally, if this is a fake, it's an extremely convincing one. On the websites that I located these pages on, the original posters talk about how they had just recently proven that some other unrelated pages that they were handed were indeed an elaborate hoax. However, these pages that I've read for you guys are actually said to be pretty legit. In fact, they even go on to describe the way in which they got them, with the poster stating that Philip Newman, an aspiring actor, sent the pages to the site after he gained access to a site called Showfax. This site would usually post sides or scenes for a film that actors need to know before an audition. He later sent these sides of the JP3 script and said they were in fact the real deal. Had it not been for the fact that these characters' names line up directly with what we know about the abandoned shooting script, I wouldn't really give it much thought at all. But just the simple fact that they were posted in June of 2000, 2 months before these old names were revealed in that August interview, that really makes me look at these pages with a lot of intrigue. If this is in fact some of the stuff that was originally planned to be shot for JP3, then it would mean that the movie's character relationships were far different from what I honestly thought they would have been. I mean, here Cooper isn't a mercenary, but a bodyguard who seems to actually care about Miles or, Eric Kirby's well-being. And Paul is another absentee father that we get to see quite a lot in Spielberg-related movies. Just imagine how sad it would be for Miles to witness Cooper dying in this version of the movie if the boy actually formed some sort of relationship with him. This is really different stuff. Anyways, I really want to hear all of your thoughts on these pages that are allegedly from JP3. Do you think they are real? And if you don't, I'd love to know why. Have you seen this stuff before, and what is your take on all of the information that I've covered in this video? I've never seen this stuff, so it's extremely interesting to me. Now, I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Now, before I go, I want to thank my game wardens, as well as all of my InGen executives, like Adam Hooper. I'd also like to thank my park workers and InGen hunters as well. Hey ho, let's play. Words can't really express how awesome it is to have you guys tell me how much you enjoy the stuff I do, and I seriously am extremely thankful for everything that you guys do to help. It honestly means the world. Now I'd like to thank you all for watching this video, and hope that you all enjoy today's content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you are interested in hearing from me again. I'll see you all in the next video, guys, and as always, take it easy.